Welcome back to Medrash Umaisa, sharing a story for this week's Parshas Shemos. The Rebbe Shlita once told us about a dream that his Rebbe, the Pnei Menachem, the previous Ger Rebbe, told him about. He said that sometimes in his dreams, his uncle, the Rav of Povanitz, would appear to him. The Povanitzer Rav was killed in the war, and give him certain messages. He said at one time there were a lot of tzaras happening to Am Yisrael, and he was very upset. And in the dream, his uncle asked him why he was upset. He said, because of all the tzaras. And his uncle said, I'm going to tell you why there are so many tzaras happening now. He says, in the past, it used to be that when one Jew was in pain, all the Jews around who heard about it were also in pain. And that brought about whatever change or effect that they were supposed to feel. He says now, unfortunately, unless it happens to be someone who's close to you and that you know, people don't feel anything. And that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to hit many times in many places. It's a painful idea to think about, but it's definitely something we have to keep in mind. Today, I found in a drasha of the Kloisenberger Rav Zatzal, who also went through the war, describing exactly what the Povanitzer Rav said. He said, Milifnim b'Yisrael, in previous times, he said there were communities that had 10,000 Jews, 20,000 Jews, and he said maybe once or twice or three times a year, if they would hear a report of a Jew who was killed lo aleinu or who died young, everyone would talk about it. Everyone was upset about it. He said the entire Medina of Galicia would be upset about it. Everyone would be speaking about it with pain. He says even the children would be speaking about this, that a Jew died young in Bochnia or in Krakow, that some type of tragedy happened. And they would speak about this for weeks or even months, he said. This shows that there is something missing with us. Again, it's hard to expect ourselves to be other people, but we do have to know how to aspire to it and to try to do what we can. In this week's parsha, we see the famous description of Moshe Rabbeinu. Vayetze alecha vayar b'sivlosam. He went out to his brothers and saw their pain. Rashi says, Nasan eno v'libo liyas meitzar aleim. He made the effort with his eyes and his heart to feel their pain. This doesn't mean that a person has to obsessively check the news. A person has to know what's happening, but some people actually say that the constant flow of news is part of the reason that it's so hard for us to feel anything. But a person has to be aware, but not just aware of a fact, but to try to put their heart and minds into it. Again, not that the news should stop us from functioning, but it should spur us for doing all that we can to hopefully bring about the change, so that we will be able to employ the midah that's ascribed to a healthy Jew, not just of tsar lo b'tzorasam she'Yisrael, not just to feel the pain of Am Yisrael, but especially to be sameach b'simchasam, to have joy in the simchas of Am Yisrael. May we have many such simchas. B'mher of Yameinu. Have a wonderful Shabbos.